everyone, and welcome to Salesforce Atlas. Thank you so much for joining this episode. And in this episode, I'll be talking about our App Manager and how to navigate App Manager, how to change logos, how to remove or add any more objects to your navbar. And I'll just cover some more specifics about the options that you will see later in this video. So I will not be spoiling and just giving all the details right now. I'm in one of my Salesforce playgrounds as usual. And in this episode, what I would like to do is to change slightly my, my sales console. I would like to change the logo of the sales console, the logo that you can see right here. By default, that's a Salesforce Cloud, and the name of the sales console will just show you where you can do this in setup, and as well how to navigate your tabs that you can see in here, and whether to make by default a specific list and not let anyone to change it, or just keep everything as is and be very flexible about what your users are using really here. And I will go to setup. So that's going to be the backend of our Salesforce system where you can configure everything. Our app manager to manage apps. And just quickly before I start with the configuration, if you click on App Launcher and View All in Salesforce, even though we're using mainly their Sales Cloud or Sales app and maybe some other apps, but we have a variety of apps in here. You can see them right here, and we have Service Console, Service Cloud. We have Marketing Cloud, Community, Commerce, and we also have like Chatter in here. And you can create your own app, and you can assign any objects, any custom objects to that app, and change the logo, change the colors, which I will cover as well shortly. And these are all the items that you can see here. So these are all the objects that we either have created or they are here in Salesforce by default. And I'll just go back now to my app manager. So here in the search tool, you go on to Apps Manager, and again here you see the full list of apps available to you, and you will see there's a difference. You can see Classic and Lightning, and now that's what we have in sales. Actually, right here we have Classic and Lightning. And for this particular video, I will be covering our sales console. Now the console is slightly different. It looks a little bit different. And why I have selected to use Sales Console, because of the utility items, and there are some limitations. For this purpose, I would like to add notes. You can't really add notes as utility to your sales app and service app. You have to use a console. And just to know more about the limitations, I will leave the link below in this video so you can revisit utilities if you're interested in this. And let's just start with the details and branding. So here I can change the name of the app. So perhaps from Sales Console, I will just change this to Salesforce Atlas, the name of the channel. And I will go on and I will upload an image, just drag and drop. But I'm looking for this logo in here. So this will upload. And yeah, so this will be the image, and you can see the preview of your app launcher in here. And I will go and change the colors. That would be more suitable. That would match my brand logo. And I will check whether this will be good. I'll just make it slightly darker. All right, this will be fine for this example. And there is a tick whether you would like to org theme options, whether you want to use apps image and colors instead of the org's custom themes. So that's for all org. but I will not tick the checkbox here. I'll just leave this for my my Salesforce Atlas app that previously was Sales Console. Now the developer name, you can't really change this. As you know, in objects, the API or the developer name has to stay the same because it is linked to many other things in the org. Now I'll just go and save these quick changes, and I will go back to our main page and refresh the page. Hopefully it will refresh quickly. Yes, so the changes have gone and everything is changed. And here now the logo, you can always resize it, but you have to do this separately with your image if you want to make it bigger. Now I have by default just one image for this. And here you can see the name has changed and the color has changed as well. Now here, that's the next thing. This is navbar. It is slightly different. It is not what you usually would see in Sales app. In our other apps, usually you see a long list of navbar is horizontal and you have tabs in here. And there's a very interesting thing that they have created, Salesforce have created these consoles for more of like a service use where you can also interact with your customers. And you also have the utilities in here, and you can have utility tabs. Now, here this would show you the history for the history of the app and of your objects. I have nothing to show in here, but what I will do, I would like to later add some more utilities to this app. And the next thing will be app options. Now in app options, you can decide whether you want to make the changes only for desktop, only for your phone, or for desktop and the phone. And setup and personalization, that is all setup experience for setup or service setup. As you know, we have two types of setups. We have setup for the Sales Cloud and service setup for the Service Cloud. Now I'm only covering setup right now. And app personalization, I mentioned in the beginning, if you want to restrict your users from changing the tabs, you can just check the box in here and it won't let anyone to make any changes to the tabs in here. I do think it's better to have some more flexibility as your users are trying to do their best. If it is better for them to move around the tabs, then why not? However, everyone has their own rules, and there might be some reasons why this would be a good choice. Now we have utility items. I mentioned we have notes in here. We have various utility items. You can find them all in here. And again, I will just leave a separate information about utilities in the link below the description. And I will just go on notes, and I would like to double check whether everything is all right. For some utility items, you can't really make any changes. It has to stay by default as it was already created. Now I will have notes and I will have history. Now, if I just go back, I'll go back to our app and I'll refresh the page, and it doesn't want to show in here. All right, we can perhaps get back to this in a bit. But navigation items. Now with navigation items, these are the items right in here, and you can either edit via button in here, or you can do this in one go for all apps, for all users in one app. So that would be by default. You can just change this via Apps Manager. Now I have home, I have leads, accounts. Now let's make it more organized, and let's remove groups and chatter and calendar and tasks, and let's leave just Let's leave accounts. Let's remove leads. Let's leave accounts, contacts, opportunities, reports, dashboards, and let's even remove files. We will keep it very short and simple. And we will save this. And by default, I should just close the Sales app. By default, you will have on all apps, for all users, you will have a short list of items in here, but it is taking some time. Now, that's one of the things with Salesforce. When you are configuring something, it might take a couple of even minutes for changes to be ready. I'll just get back to this. I'll pause it until it's ready, so the video doesn't get too long. In the utility items, I will add to the history bar, I will add also recent items, just for the purpose of this video, of the example. And you can change the label for this utility item. You can change the icon, but I will keep everything as it is in here, and I will not make any changes. I will just save this in here. I will save it, and I will go back to our, I'll go back to our app, and I'll just check. You can see here, I've got history and recent items. Now with utility bars I tested earlier, it can be quite tricky, and I will add an additional link where you can check the limitations. And let me actually quickly share with you, I did a little research, share with you how to add notes to the utilities bar, to the utilities list here below. There's an additional step you would need to do, is just go back to the setup, and in quick find, type in notes. So what we'll find will be note settings, and in note settings, you will have this checkbox. If the checkbox is not checked, you will not see any notes in there because you haven't enabled the function. And in order to see that, the notes in there, you just need to save it. And as soon as you enable notes, you can go back to your apps manager. And in the app manager, add the utility list to your app. I'll go to the Salesforce Atlas app. I will edit it, and in the utilities, I will add notes as well. And click Save, go back to the page, refresh, and we should see notes here in the corner. And yes, it's all about the research. There's always perhaps additional checkbox or something you just need to tweak, and everything will be enabled. Now, like that. Now I'll just go back and I'll remove this. I'll remove notes, and I will save it. And let's see whether the changes have been applied. And yes, and they're gone again. So that is it. You just have a few simple steps. And next, I will go on to navigation items. And I have changed the pre-selected objects. Now I had way more, but I just removed them. And just what you do, if you have a long list, as I just showed, you just simply remove them and leave everything what you really need in here. Now, I wanted to keep it very short and saved it earlier. And now here you will see that I've got a very short list, just home, accounts, contacts, opportunities, reports, and dashboards. Just imagine that these would be the main tabs I would like my sales users to use. And I'll close this in here. And otherwise, you have a long list of items that you can add to the list, like cases and channels and chat transcripts and chat visitors. If you have enabled as well those functionalities, if you're using even the chat functions. or the chat tool, even if you're using the chat tool from here. And in navigation rules, and you can here determine whether to open a related record in addition to the primary record. So you can have related records like similar to master detail, a parent, and the child records. So you can have an account as it will be a workspace tab, or you can make an account sub tab of nothing really, because you know that account in Salesforce is the main parent, and the parent object we have the child object. So you can actually use contacts and create contacts, a sub tab of to provide you a list of things. So it can be account, which is it will be already related to the account. It can be individual or reports to and a specific contact. Now with opportunities, let's have a look. It will be by default with accounts, then campaign, opportunity history, another one, and then the prize book. Well, yes, I will just leave it as it is. I will not make any changes in this section. I just want to keep it like that, keep it simple. And in user profiles, as you can imagine, this will determine which profiles will be able to see and use the new app. And in the selected profiles, I have the majority of them, as by default, I already had the sales console in this playground. But if I was to restrict any profiles or any users from this app, then I would simply remove most of them probably and leave the main profiles. Maybe that would be the management profile or Salesforce administrators, the system administrators, or only sales leadership. This is up to you. And it depends on what profiles you have in your org, as every org is very, very different. And that's basically about the access to this, to the new app. And if I go back, I haven't really done anything in here, so I have nothing to save. I'll just go back in here and I will refresh the page. And the most important things that we've done in here, I have changed the logo in here. I have changed the name of the app, and I've changed the color as well, just to match more my brand color. And I have removed the unnecessary tabs because the list was too long. I want to make it clear and simple what I'm working it every day. And I haven't restricted, so my users, if they would want to make any changes or perhaps add some more, perhaps they would like to add a calendar or any other tabs to this list, campaigns, and anything else, they can still do this. I haven't made any restrictions. And most of the profiles in the org are all right to use this app. And at the bottom, we have utilities. So here it would show the history of changes that I've made. And if I just select, so these are the recent tabs I was using. It is showing as well that I've added a file, which I did earlier, and no major changes really. I haven't done anything. So I've just looked at them and opened them, but it still appears in the history. And in the recent items, nothing to show in here. And you can create a whole list of utility items. If I just quickly go back to our sales app, as the navigation bar is slightly different, but I would like to quickly cover this as well. Now here, if your individual users want to make any changes, same as in the Salesforce Atlas app, you can just click on the pencil here and you can add or remove manually items. So you can have a long list of things, and yes, you can add more. You can just go to all list, and then you can click, you can just find what you're looking for and select the plus, and then go to the next page and add it. And select where exactly you want it to sit in there. And at the same time, you can also do this for the entire app for all users. And to do that, you just need to, I'll just go back to all apps, and I will find the sales app in here. Now we have Lightning and Classic, and I will just go on to my Lightning, and I will edit this app. Now in here, in navigation items, again, I have a long list, and I'll just quickly do some cleaning. I'll leave cases. I will remove calendar, groups, chatter, campaigns, and files, tasks. And I want please to be at the top. Then I want to have contacts, accounts, contacts, opportunities, then reports, dashboards, and cases. And this is what I would like to have by default in this app, in the sales app. And I have saved the changes. So I'll just need to refresh this. I will not make any other changes to the logo and nothing else. And I'll have to wait a little bit because it sometimes takes some time for things to refresh in the back. It still hasn't changed. And let's see, I might just pause the video for a bit. All right, so it took some time, but finally I just refreshed the page, and here you can see sales app. In the sales app, tabs have changed, and this is what I was looking for. Now I have made it very simple and short, and I have simply left the tabs I would really need for my day-to-day use. Well, I hope that this step-by-step guide will help you to navigate your apps, and definitely do some more research about the utility list, as it can be quite tricky, but you can be prepared and you can do some testing. As it was with me as well, I had to take some more time and just to wait for everything, for all the changes to be ready. Just be patient, it will take some time. Thanks a lot for watching this. See you next time.